while we was away, me and Sharia, we took in a movie, documentary, Mr. CHIBBS. It's a documentary by Kenny Anderson. It was playing in the IFC Theatre down in the Village across from West 4th Street. He did a Q&A, after the movie, the 7 o'clock. I mean, it was an excellent movie, documentary. It was an actual movie. It wasn't like, that reality TV stuff. It was just a great movie. I mean, it's a must see for anybody that is aspiring to get to that level. Because you're talking about Kenny Anderson, you're talking about a 4-time high school All-American. One of the leading scorers in high school history in New York. And
Mr.
I mean,
New
the
York
dude had
himself,
a phenomenal, he had a phenomenal high school career. I mean, phenomenal. He had the handles, he could shoot. He was a down-to-earth brother. And the movie, it took you into his life as an adult, making the transition, from being a professional basketball player to being an adult, life after basketball. And one thing that resonated with me and it made me think, I kept thinking about it for the past week. He said that he played ball to take care of his mother, and his mother passed, and he was able to take care of her for 20 years, based off his NBA money, and then that's all that he lived for at that point. And it made me think, like, wow, that's what sons are supposed to do. That's what they're supposed to do for their mother, or your parents, period. Like, these are the things that you take with you. And it just stuck with me for some reason. And then she passed, and he was like, he ain't had no plan B. So now he's finding himself. It's all about progression. Sharia, what you got from the movie? I mean, I got so much stuff, but, we was there together. What you got from it?
It was great. I mean, it was a great thing to see. Like, you take a glimpse into what someone's life is like outside of basketball, because we all know what Kenny Anderson was as a high school All-American and all the accolades for that, what he was at Georgia Tech. Like, we all know what that was. But a lot of times you don't get to see what goes on behind closed doors. And that was something that, I think that a lot of, every sports, player or whatever, or aspiring pro athlete or, whatever it is, I think everybody should see this documentary because it's important, because it shows a level of or a lack of understanding when you're younger, and not having the complete picture around you as far as people around you that can kind of help you a little better, as far as given the situation, and what's about to happen. You could always say, well, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. But once something happens, when you're allowed to get all this money all at once, it's a different thing where people are not telling you no, and people, you have everything at your disposal. That's a big deal. And a lot of people can't handle that. And there's a lot of things and a lot of factors from when you're growing up and how you grew up, a lot of that shapes who you are as an adult. So whether or not you dealt with it or not, it's a whole big thing, and it was just a great thing to kind of just see him rebound from that, and to pull himself up by his bootstraps and kind of just take control of his life again. I think the biggest thing that resonated with me was that him telling the story of him being sexually molested. I think that there's not enough, whether there's athletes or, black men, there's not enough of that in terms of telling your story, because like he said he thought, it sounds away coming from a black male, and, you have all of these insecurities about it, but it's not about you. It doesn't make you look weak, or it doesn't make you look a certain way. So, that's something else to deal with. So there's layers to it. And, I just thought it was a great thing for him to even come out and say, because he didn't have to do that. He could have just not said anything about it. And, you know, I mean, I applaud things like that when guys come out and say, like, we talk about Ron Artest when he won the championship with the Lakers in 2010, and he was like, I got to give a shout out to my therapist. And a lot of us is like, you know, a lot of people is like, oh, he's talking about his therapist. That's real. You know,
it's real, man.
Like
and he said he goes to therapy every week. You know, once a week. So to unload.
You know. So I mean that's so I think from that standpoint and the relationship with his sons and his kids, and you know, it's just so many layers, and I think that a lot of kids definitely need to see that because it's important. So, but it was great.
He was trying to be a better man and a better father,
better husband,
and the thing about
a better father,
better husband, better friend. I mean, the thing about the sexual molestation part was, you know, he went into detail as to say that, you know, he wasn't penetrated or anything, but the fact that he was touched in areas that he didn't want to be, it traumatized him, and he blacked it out for 20 years. Like,
yep.
And this is a person that he didn't go through. He went through a traumatic experience, but, you know, he wasn't raped or anything, but, you know, it's pretty damn close. But to be able to deal with that and his mom being on drugs and, like, he went through a lot. You're talking about a kid from the hood, you know, who, you know, he kept his grades in school. He had the scholarship, you know, to Maylor. Somebody, you know, they paid for it as long as he kept a B average. So, you know, he wasn't a dumb kid, you know. So you got to look at it like this. You're 20 years old, and you're coming into millions. And then, you know, you're taking care of your mom. And like you said, Sharia, everything is yes. Nobody's telling you no. Like, you the multi-millionaire. You the man. You in Jersey. You from Queens and you playing for the Nets. Like, the world is yours for real, you know. But Rob, you know how it is, man. You know, when we see these type of films, and it just takes us to a place where, you know, where we came from. Like, you know, Kenny represented us, you know, because we all from the same era.
Yeah.
You know, so when you see it, you know, that it was a good movie is all I'm saying.
You know, I vividly remember him and Marcus Liberty. Marcus Liberty didn't do well,
True.
and Anderson at least did well. You know what I'm saying? Marcus
Liberty was my class. That was class of '87.
He didn't make it to the league and none of that. But he was nice. He was nice in high school from Chicago, whatever. And you know, everybody don't do it under the bright lights like that. And you know, everywhere he went, you know, Trump put up. He rep. You know, he definitely always rep New York. Always, you know, stayed true to New York basketball. How they played. And you know, he never from where he went to Georgia Tech and when he got drafted, you know, when he came to the Nets and all that, he was, you know, he stayed true. He stayed true to his game, and you know what I'm saying? That's the beautiful thing about it. So, you know, I hope a lot of kids who don't know who Kenny Anderson is, like, you know, you definitely want to go check that out because, like, he was big He was big in the city. I remember freshman year, he was like the first freshman ever started for Maylor, and he was putting up numbers. And they didn't know who is this? We got 3 more years to watch this kid. Like, the city couldn't wait. You know what I'm saying? Because the Knicks was still one of that. They wasn't good, like they ain't right now. But you know what I'm saying?
The more things change, the more they stay the same.
You know what I'm saying? But he was like must-see basketball in the city. Everywhere sold out. Everywhere you went, out of town, everywhere. Everybody wanted to find out who the lefty from New York was. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, he was official. He definitely did his thing. And a lot of kids, a lot of you young boys you aspire to be a guard, point guard, and just even to be a guard. Just go look at it. Go check him out. Go check something out, man.
Take a peek. Word.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Go to YouTube and go see some clips of him and see how he had that ball on the yo-yo and how you break a trap and all that. Go witness that.